Welcome to MPC. Today's installation video is a factory fob activated remote start that fits 2016 to 2019 Kia Sorento with a key start. Watch the whole video all the way through before starting your installation. That'll give you the best idea of the process. First, remove the rubber gasket around the door. That'll make removing the lower plastic panels easier. Grab a hold of the lower door sill panel and give it a gentle tug. There are 3 clips holding it in. Then remove the hood release lever. A flathead screwdriver works great to pop it off. Next, remove the kick panel. Now carefully use a flathead screwdriver or a plastic pry tool to remove the side dash panel. Start at the bottom and work your way up gently, prying as you go. Next, remove the screw at the bottom of the lower right dash panel. There are 3 screws you need to remove in the side panel for the panel to come off. Then you can grab a hold and give a gentle tug, and the lower dash panel will come off. It's held on by just a few clips. Remove 1 screw from under the steering wheel plastic cover. Then lift up the top cover of the steering wheel plastic panel. This will give you access to the 2 screws holding the lower plastic panel on. Lower the tilt lock lever. Then turn the wheel to the left so you can remove the screw on the left side. Then turn the wheel to the right so you can remove the screw on the right side. The lower panel will now come right out. Next, you'll need to remove the fuse box to access the plugs on the back side of it. There are 3 nuts holding it on, shown here. Also remove the metal bracket below the fuse box. There are 4 nuts that hold it in, shown here, 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 and here. Once the nuts are removed, take off the bracket. You'll now be able to pull down the fuse box to access the plugs on the back. Now we'll do the wiring, starting with the T-harness. Locate the 6-pin plug at the key cylinder and press the release tab to unplug it from the vehicle. Now plug it into the female end of the T-harness and plug the white male end back into your key cylinder like this. Next, we'll make our wire connections. Most of the connections will be done tapping onto wires in the 3 connectors that go to the back of the fuse box. If you haven't already, unplug 3 connectors from the back of the fuse box. The 2 large ones on the top, labeled A and B in this diagram, and the 16-pin white connector below them. We'll be cutting 2 wires, tapping onto 4 wires, and using the EvoWall 6-pin and 5-pin connectors. The first cut will be made on the gray-orange wire going to pin position 4 on the white A plug. Cut that gray-orange wire about 3 inches from the plug, and use the supplied butt connectors to attach the yellow-red wire from the EvoWall 6-pin red connector to the half of the gray-orange wire that's going into the plug, and then the yellow-green wire from the EvoWall to the half of the gray-orange wire that's running up into the wire bundle. Tape the 2 wires to the factory harness to make them more secure. The next cut is the pink wire on the 25-pin black B plug, pin position 7. Connect the half of the wire that goes into the B plug to the white red from the EvoWall 6-pin red connector, and the half that's running into the wire bundle to the white green. Tape those 2 wires to the factory harness, also to make them more secure. Now we'll make the CAN connections from the EvoWall 5-pin white connector to the 2 pairs of CAN wires that are on the 16-pin white connector in the car. The CAN wires are twisted together in pairs. Using the wrap and tape method, connect the gray-black wire from the EvoWall onto the blue wire at pin position 11. Connect the gray wire from the EvoWall to the red wire at position 12. Connect the orange-green to the white at position 13. Connect the orange-brown to the black at position 14. Next, connect the ground wire. It's the black wire and the 12-pin plug that plugs into the remote start brain. A good spot is a factory bolt shown here. Just loosen the bolt, slide the ring terminal under it, and tighten it back down. Tape up the rest of your unused wires. Next, connect the yellow wire on the Evo All 20-pin plug to the yellow T-tap on the pink wire of the T-harness. Use the red spade connector included in the kit to make this connection super easy. Now reconnect all the plugs you removed from the back of the fuse box. Plug the 6-pin plug into the remote start brain. Plug in the 12-pin plug next to it. Locate the 4-pin plug with the red, black, blue, and white wires. Plug the end with the locking tab into the remote start brain. You'll see a notch on the plastic for the locking tab to sit in. This is the data link cable. It provides power and ground to the Evo All module, and it's also how the two units communicate with each other. Please note, your tip sheet shows another connection called EMS COM. On most US models, this wire is not present. If your car is like this one and does not have the wire, skip that connection and go to the second set of programming instructions. If you have the EMS COM wire, make that connection as shown in your tip sheet, then use the first set of programming instructions. Since we don't have the EMS COM wire here, we're going to go straight to the second set of programming instructions. Hold the button down on the side of the Evo All module. Plug in the 4-pin power plug. Let go of the button when you see just the blue LED. If you timed it correctly, the LED will turn solid blue. If it does not turn solid blue, or you see any other color, unplug the 4-pin power plug and start over. Plug in the 5-pin red and the 6-pin white connectors. Next, turn the ignition on. The blue LED will turn off, and then in a few seconds, it will flash rapidly. Turn the key off, and programming is complete. Now we're going to test the system. Press the lock button on your factory remote 3 times with about a 1-second pause between the presses. A few seconds later, the instrument gauges will turn on. Then a few seconds after that, your vehicle will start. To shut the system down, press the lock button again 3 times, or unlock the door and step on the brake pedal. Now we're going to button everything up. An easy way to clean up your installation is to start with the brain and the Evo module and group the wires together to form a nice clean harness. Tape or zip tie the wires together to secure them. Find a place under the dash to stow the modules. You can use the zip ties to secure them. Now remount the fuse box and secure it. Next, the metal bracket below that you removed earlier. Then put the lower plastic piece back into the steering column. Turn the steering wheel to the left and screw in the top screw. Turn the steering wheel to the right and screw in the other top screw. Then screw in the bottom screw. Squeeze the 2 halves back together until they line up, then remount the lower dash panel. Plug in any connectors that you may have unplugged earlier. Line up the dash and press back into place. Replace the 3 screws that go into the side of the lower dash panel and the one on the lower right side. You're now ready to put the panels back on. Reassemble in the reverse order from when you took them apart. Install the kick panel, then the side dash panel, and the lower door sill panel, pressing the hood release back on last. Test the remote start again to make sure everything is still working properly. Then enjoy your remote start kit from MPC, the leader in do-it-yourself remote start installations since 2007.